Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Xavier Smith, and today I'm going to talk about the law of cosines. So let's get started. The law of cosines applies when you have a triangle that is not a right triangle, so it does not have a right angle. Now, let's look at our triangle here. We have our angles labeled A, B, and C. These are all interchangeable. Then there are the sides directly opposite them. So angle A directly opposite it is side little a. Then directly opposite of uppercase B, which is the uppercase is our angle, directly opposite that is our lowercase b side. And then directly opposite angle uppercase C is side lowercase c. Now let's look at our formula. C squared equals a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine c. So let me help you try to dissect this real quick if you want to memorize it. So c squared is just the angle the side you're looking at. If you're looking to find an angle, like if you were looking to find angle C, well, you'd say, okay, look at angle C. Then the first thing, the c squared, would be the side directly opposite that squared. Equals a squared plus b squared. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared is the Pythagorean theorem right there. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So first part is the Pythagorean theorem. Cool, triangles, you can remember that. Then there's minus 2ab. Well, if this was like a squared equals c squared plus b squared, which it can look like that, it would be minus 2bc, which sounds just like the quadratic formula, which is minus 4 like BC or 4AC. It's one of them. So you are going to say, well, minus 4AC divided by 2, well, that's like the same as minus 2AC. So you're going to say, okay, well, if you want to remember that, you could think, okay, something like the quadratic formula comes next, and then it's cosine C. So that's whatever the angle is opposite the c squared. So c squared equals a squared plus b squared, Pythagorean theorem, minus 2ab cosine c. So that's going to be a hard one to remember, but if you need to remember it, you can come back to this video. Okay, now let's start. How can we use this law? Well, we can use it when it's not a right triangle, this triangle, and when we either have three sides and are looking for an angle, or when we have two sides and an angle looking for the next side. Those are the two cases you can use it. So let's start with three sides. We are looking for angle x, meaning that we are going to use the side directly opposite of that as our c squared term. So we're going to say 19 squared because directly opposite from the x. 19 squared equals 8 and 14 can just be interchanged. So 8 squared plus 14 squared minus 2 times 8 times 14 cosine x. So getting the calculator out for this one, 19 squared is equal to 361 equals 8 squared is 64 and 14 squared is 196. So 196 plus 64 is equal to 260. And then minus 2 times 8 is 16, and 16 times 14 is 224. So minus 224 cosine x. Note that the 224 and the cosine x are one term. So you can't do 260 minus 224. That's not a thing. So now we subtract 260 from both sides, which will leave us with 101 equals negative 224 cosine x. Divide by negative 224 on both sides. And we will get cosine x equals negative 101 over 224. Then we're going to do the cosine, the inverse of cosine on both sides. It'll cancel there, like cosine inverse. So we'll get x equals cosine negative 1 of negative 101 over 224, right? That is a lot. So go to your calculator. Then you're going to go to the cosine button, but you're going to press second first. click it. It'll give you cosine negative 1. You're going to plug in negative 101 divided by 224. Close that parentheses, and you will get x is approximately 116.8 degrees. Okay, so that is when we have three sides. Now, let's work when we don't have three sides, where we have two sides and an angle. Just got to get us some more room here to work. So, we start with a side of 15 to 15 and then a side of 4. We are looking for what looks to be the longest side. And we have our angle of 112 degrees. I see 112 degrees, meaning that's an obtuse angle right there. Meaning the angle opposite the obtuse angle is always the side opposite the obtuse angle is always the largest side. So I already know that this side has to be more than 15. I'm just making an inference here. So let's start. We have, this will be our x squared. X squared equals, we're using this x squared because we have this angle here. So this cosine C will mean we have to use the angle, the side opposite that for our calculations. So x squared equals, let's do 15 squared plus 4 squared minus 2 times 15 times 4 cosine 112 degrees. I'm likely going to leave this cosine here for a while. So let's do x squared equals 15 squared is 225. 4 squared is 16. So 241 minus 2 times 15 is 30. 30 times 4 is 120 minus 120 cosine 112. So now we're just going to square root both sides. So you're going to do the square root of 241 minus 120 cosine 112 and parentheses and parentheses. Okay, let's see. It gives us 16.9 degrees. So x is approximately 16.9 degree. No, just 16.9, which means x is approximately 17. So x here is about 17 degrees. I hope this video on the law of cosines was helpful, and thank you very much for watching.